We are going to try something a little bit different with a few episodes this year. Something I've been wanting to do for a while is cover some legendary warriors and see if we can't decompress or pick apart what gives them that warrior mindset. So today we're going to dive into the fascinating world of mental strength and what warrior mindset can mean in a life or death situation, talking about an extraordinary individual, Hugh Glass. I don't know if you've heard about him. Leonardo DiCaprio was in a movie about him called The Revenant. Hugh Glass is a true legendary um, badass. And so get ready for a journey that I hope helps us unveil some of the secrets of the warrior mindset. All right. So if you're into that, hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
Welcome to the Warrior Mindset Podcast. We're your guide as you make your way through life, getting better 1% every day. We believe that life is lived and true victory won through adversity. Nothing easy is ever worth it. We believe in the warrior ethos and support those that choose to walk that path.
The Legend of Hugh Glass. Now, for those of you who haven't heard about Hugh Glass, buckle up. He was a true survivor, a frontiersman, a fur trapper who faced unimaginable challenges in the early 19th century, mostly well known for holding a sense of revenge and surviving a grizzly bear attack. His story is really nothing short of legendary. So let's take a look at, some of his history. I don't really want to make this just a history post. I really want to dive into the warrior mindset aspects of this, but we do have to sort of understand, where he comes from and what he's doing. So he was born, he was born in, I believe like early 1800s, 1783, actually, in Pennsylvania. And he did, his backstory that wasn't covered in the movie is that he was a pirate. He was actually captured by pirates, which is a little crazy. Captured off the coast of Texas in 1816, and he was a pirate for about 2 years. And then later was rumored to be captured by the Pawnee tribe, and he lived with them for several years and learned how to live life as a Native American, as a Pawnee. So that's first of all, like that background before we even watch the movie The Revenant or read about his, the thing that he's mostly well known for. That's already kind of a crazy life, right? Dude was a pirate. Dude was also captured by, Pawnee nation and lived with them for several years. That alone's enough. But he went on this expedition in 1823, pushed up into North and South Dakota by way of a fort out of like right there on the like the border of like Montana. And that's where we kind of pick him up. Like if you're watching the movie, you kind of pick him up there. I'm going to go over the timeline in a little bit, but I want to look at some of these things in terms of how we can break this down. So something we learn from him is resilience in the face of adversity. So his journey teaches us the first lesson of the warrior mindset: resilience. Imagine being mauled by a grizzly bear and then left alone in the wilderness to survive after, essentially having your face chewed off. He didn't just survive, though; he thrived. Like he survived, and he made his way in the wilderness, probably from some of that knowledge he gained from like the Pawnee tribe. But it's a testament to the power of the human spirit and the warrior mindset spirit. Another lesson we can pull from this is the power of adaptability. Adaptability is the key to mental strength. Glass adapted to his environment using every resource available. Okay. In in today's world, we can learn a lot from investigating his resourcefulness and living off the land. We live in a society, our modern world compared to the 1800s. I mean, we can get fast food, we have our phones, our information is like almost immediate. We live in air conditioned and heated homes. It's a bit, it's enough to make you a very weak form of a human, right? Compared to that type of rugged lifestyle. So we can begin to think about ways that we can adapt, and utilize things in our life that, you know, maybe we don't need to be so wasteful, right? Be a little more resourceful. All right. Focus and determination. Glass's unyielding focus on survival is our next lesson. Distractions in that scenario were a matter of life and death. How can we adopt such intense focus in our daily lives? That's something to think about. We are also a distracted society, right? We are distracted by almost every form of media. And then media itself is engineered to distract us. You're in a situation where you're trying to survive by living off the land, literally in North Dakota, in the middle of the coldest time of the year. Simply being distracted could get you killed, right? You know, depends on how far down the survival or the, prepared mindset rabbit hole you want to go, but there's some lessons there too. All right. Overcoming mental barriers. Glass shattered mental barriers that would seem, to me, I watched the movie, I read about his history, seems insurmountable. Surviving a grizzly bear attack and then literally crawling through the wilderness, the snow, like frozen wilderness of North Dakota, defies almost all odds of human survival. But this shows us that really the only limits in life are the ones we set for ourselves. If you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. In the case of Hugh Glass, it was his life. But think about something in your life that you want so bad that you would go through something like that. This is not your life. Maybe it's the life of, a loved one. Maybe it's something that you want to attain. What is that? And draw inspiration from this. How can we incorporate the lessons from Hugh Glass, the warrior mindset lessons, into our lives? We've got there's actionable steps that we can take. Okay. Let's take a look at the actual timeline. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to make this a just a historical episode here, but it's important. If you don't know, like if you want to go pause this, go watch The Revenant, and then come back. It's actually pretty close. They it turns out they tamed the movie down a good bit in order to make it palatable, I think, for most people. But we'll get into that. All right, so a basic timeline here. 1823, put yourself in that mindset, expansion west, the Grand River expedition. Glass joins the expedition along the Grand River, led by Army General William Ashley, on a mission to trap animals, like get hides, beavers, and stuff like that, and explore uncharted territories of the American wilderness. Right, August 1823 is when it is noted that he confronts a massive grizzly bear during the expedition. Storied that it was a mama bear protecting her cubs. leaves him extremely wounded, broken ribs, shredded leg, battered body, skin essentially torn off, side of his face, like the worst version of a bear attack that you can imagine. Again, watch the movie. It's pretty graphic, but you'll get the idea. And not only that, but so he was attacked by the bear, and then he was found by some of his comrades, and through a series of events, they deemed Glass beyond hope. So the expedition party, fearing Native American attacks, decided to just leave him. So he's left alone with like zero supplies. Like I don't, the movie makes it look like he just basically is in a blanket, but there's more in the movie about his kid and all this stuff, but whatever, that's not necessarily in the story. But he's attacked by the bear, barely survives, and is just left out in the wilderness. Despite all that, he summons his unparalleled determination. He sets his own leg, tends his own wounds, begins a journey, crawling and dragging himself back south, using what he knows from lessons he's learned from, I'm assuming, his time with the Pawnee, to just his general, rugged mountain man badassedness. Forages for plants, hunts small games, navigates by the sun, avoiding predators, all during the worst winter time in North and South Dakota. I don't know if you've ever been to North Dakota. I've never been to North Dakota, but I have a really good friend whose family lives there, and it's cold. I don't know if you knew that. He also encountered hostile Native Americans during his journey. He's able to escape that, continue his quest. Several weeks later, 1823, reunited with fellow trappers against all odds. He reunites with some friendly trappers, provide him with assistance. He's finally able to sort of survive. Okay. So there's the reality of what happened, and there's the movie. Cinematic masterpiece, in my opinion, The Revenant, directed by Alejandro Iñárritu. I can't pronounce that. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. It's pretty good. They did take some creative liberties with that stuff. So, it is true. He did, from historical documentation, he did survive the grizzly attack. They really amped it up, that and the abandonment. Honestly, it was probably mostly due to they thought he was dead and scared of Native American attackers. They added a lot more, drama and situations into the movie. He did literally drag himself across North and South Dakota. He did encounter hostile natives. He did have to think his way out of that situation. He did have to think his way to survival. He did reunite with other trapper. The movie sort of plays that up as a moment of triumph for him, because they really focused on the revenge aspect in The Revenant. I think, really adding that helps, sell the story. Tom Hardy was in that movie. I don't know if you watched that. Tom Hardy was probably the best part of that movie, in my opinion. I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, but he was really good. He was unrecognizable, both visually and audibly, in my opinion, as the character that DiCaprio's character Glass was, with a revenge mindset, tracking down to kill. So, there's this aspect to the warrior mindset, which is this unleashing of primal power we can explore. Glass's life was like his whole life, honestly, but in this story, it was a testament to the primal power of his survival instincts. In the vast wilderness, he navigated those challenges with instinctive prowess that propelled him forward. Now, whether that was, this mindset of revenge or the mindset of just survival, remains to be seen. But in the modern context, we unravel these lessons in the way we're talking. Our exploration extends beyond storytelling. It delves into practical applications, right? Enhancing our innate survival instinct can empower us to thrive in the face of adversity. This is some of the stuff that like Mike Glover talks about all the time. We did a review of his book, Prepared, a couple of months ago. You can look him up. Fieldcraft Survival. I wear the shirt all the time. I'm a big fan. A lot of the stuff he does really helps empower you in an urban life. He has a series of classes called Rewilding that really helps get you sort of back grounded into, those like that survival mindset and pulling on those things. Unwavering strength, right? At the heart of Glass's character is unwavering mental resilience that defies the odds of what you'd expect. His small trials and triumphs, you really get into this in the movie. It helps you build, or the thought of building your mental fortitude helps you withstand challenges that are thrown to you in life, right? There's like nothing, like being an adult sucks, right? It's just like literal. I think I was telling a friend of mine the other day that like being an adult is just like solving one problem after the other. Like it's just problem solving. And it's helpful to look at life that way in terms of problem solving instead of looking at it in terms of catastrophe after catastrophe, because it can feel like that. Like we went on a run in my family last year where it was like, we had the car died, we had to get a new car. One of the kids had a car accident, we had to get that fixed too. We had to work on our air conditioning, we had to get that fixed. Like that can seem like tragedy, but it's really just problem solving. You should look at it that way so that you don't fall apart. Overcoming the odds. If you can look at this, story, The Revenant of Hugh Glass, as a giant, torturous end of life scenario. Or, and I imagine when you're in his position, you look at it as a series of triumphs over what seem like insurmountable odds. Right? If you shouldn't analyze it in a retrospective sense, you should look at it as a forward-looking guide that translates what we see, what we read of Glass's victories, into little strategies for our own overcoming modern challenges. Right? Watch that movie, go to Wikipedia, read it, but think about how his mindset can be a compass for you navigating personal and professional bullshit in your own life. What are you willing to do? There's a scene where he's free, he's about to die, he's so cold, but he comes across a dead elk or something, and he climbs inside of it to stay warm. Now, that seems like something I would never want to do. Probably no one wants to do that. But if you're in that scenario, sub 15, like minus 15 Fahrenheit, and you have no jacket, no shoes, and you've been crawling, it probably doesn't seem that bad. So is that problem with a client or that problem with a project really insurmountable? Should it really be giving you that much stress? If you put it in the context of life. And in this, Hugh Glass survives a bear attack, crawls from North to South Dakota to Missouri, wherever that fort is. Is it really that bad? So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff here. This story is a story of survival, but it's not. I don't want it to just be a historical anecdote. I want it. I want you to look at it as a source of inspiration if you're navigating life's challenges, and if you're alive and you're an adult and you have a job and you're paying bills, you're in relationships. That's what you're doing. So what I think is that what I'm going to try to do is use some of this, and which is why I love the movie so much. I can use some of this approach and outlook that he has into my own journey in life. It can help me put things in perspective, right? If you think of the survival spirit of a person from the 19th century, particularly someone who's a frontiersman, it is, you know, we're probably pretty soft compared to that. So I don't want to give up my luxuries, but I do think that I need to sort of embrace some of that. So I hope you do too. Um, you know, I want to do some more of these. I think these are some cool subjects. The story of Hugh Glass, like I said, I don't want to just tell his story. You can go watch The Revenant. You can look this up. There's probably 100 other YouTube videos that historically go through the account or compare reality to the movie and all that stuff. Go look those up. I've seen several. They're very good. But if there's anything that I want you to take away, it is that warrior mindset, that warrior spirit that Hugh Glass was able to pull upon to survive, crawling himself from the Canadian border essentially down to Missouri. Um, it's just amazing. So yeah, go watch the movie and let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Let me know if you think you'd survive. I'm still 50-50 if I would or not. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like and subscribe and come back for more. I'm going to do some more of these. So until next time, get after it, y'all.